Hi everybody, TheHande in here, and welcome back to more DOSBox nonsense. And today, here we go, Super Giana Sisters. Yep. All right. So so Super Giana Sisters. The name sounds a lot like, you might have noticed, like Super Mario Brothers. Okay. Here we go. Yes. At this game, of course, you're probably going to notice is that bears more than a passing resemblance to Super Mario Brothers, and indeed that's the kind of the joke of this. So I think this is a PC clone of the original game. The original game was made for the Commodore 64 sometime in the late 80s. Don't know the precise year. And what Super Giana Sisters, of course, was obviously, it was launching it was lampooning itself on the popularity of Mario, and to such an extent that you could have basically called it a kind of a knockoff, rip-off even. And yeah, I mentioned another Let's Play that I have actually played the original Super Giana Sisters on a Commodore 64 many moons ago. Alright. So I do remember those owl enemies. I seem to recall that you do get a power-up in this as well, like the equivalent of the fire flower. Are you kidding me? I mean, I wasn't actually trying to land on the spikes, but yeah, it kind of happened. Yeah, and I was having a little difficulty making this run. It turns out, like, I actually, like, for whatever reason, I have to put the cycles on max on DOSBox to make this one run properly. Wow, it really takes its sweet. Wow, I mean, it really takes its sweet time. All right, space. I have to hit space to make the level start. It seemed like those screens were taking forever to pass. Control-wise, this is actually pretty good, but like I have no idea when this version of the game was made. Probably, I would suspect the mid-90s. There was there's a lot of games like this. The PC Bird is the one that I played before as well. Shit. You know, wow, okay, game over already on the second level. Okay. So, when in the mid-90s, I remember there were a lot of games like this that still, like, ran off of DOS. And I think DOS had kind of become the, at the time, it was the kind of, if you will, the indie game devs playing field, basically, at that point, because DOS was going by the way of the dodo. Although, you know, technically, of course, Windows was still running on top of DOS, so in that regard, not so much. But I remember a lot of, like, these, like, freeware games, and basically these small indie-developed games for the DOS. And a lot of them decided to go for a very retro look already back then. God damn it. Wow, I'm really having difficulty with this second level. Another reason I really would want that power up is because I'm feeling a little exposed. Like I don't have anything to defend myself with. Yeah, and I can't butt bounce them like you can in Mario. I seem to recall that there has to be a power up. Is it just missing from this version? That would kind of suck. So yeah. So anyway, this was So Super Giana Sisters, it was made by some German company originally. I don't remember the name of it. And a lot of people assumed that... and the thing is, the game was available for retail for a very short amount of time, like a couple of months only. And then it got pulled off the shelves. And there's a lot of people, of course, assumed that the reason it got pulled off the shelves was because Nintendo sued the developers. But that's not actually true, because Nintendo wasn't even aware at the time that Super Giana Sisters was a thing. What actually ended up happening was that the company that made Super Giana Sisters, god damn it, expected or assumed Nintendo was probably going to sue, seek legal action, and they preemptively decided to just pull the game from circulation. But because it was a computer game from the mid-'80s, of course, and it was on a Commodore 64, which meant that you could, it was on a, obviously, mostly distributed through C cassettes. It was, of course, then widely pirated and made the rounds. So, in other words, the game ended up surviving its retail, well past when it came out. So, pulling it from the store shelves was kind of like a meaningless gesture by company. So that's the other thing about though you gotta remember about Super Giana Sisters is that it's not like a valuable. It is a slightly rarer game. Like you are less likely to find like a full retail version of the game, but it's not as if the game is rare by the measure that that people just made illegal copies, and kept distributing it that way long past the actual retail availability of Super Giana Sisters. And yeah, it kind of became this a little bit of a cult hit. Obviously, because it was available for such a limited amount of time. Obviously, it was never going to become like a super successful game. Oh my god. Yeah. The only thing that is taking me for a loop a bit is the physics are a bit. I guess you could say this is a bit floaty, but it's not really floaty even, but it's not like super. It's not like super. I don't know why I keep sometimes not landing on that eyeball guy. Jesus, I don't remember if these eyeball guys were actually in the original Super Giana Sisters. All right, here we go again. Not making a lot of progress here. Also, notice that I don't actually have a lot of time. Like, you have 70 seconds per level? Really? Yeah. And so, by the way, this is not the Super Giana Sisters is not the first time somebody kind of shamelessly was making kind of a shameless Mario knockoff in an effort to, I guess, promote, making like console style platformers for home computers, because by and large they didn't really exist. Like the original Commander Keen, Commander Keen, for instance, was created from John Romero wanting to actually make a version of Mario for PCs, but in that case, they did reach out to Nintendo, but Nintendo just weren't interested at the time. And it had not done. It's worthy of also mentioning that it, of course, had not done any of the games that they would be well known for. The first one of which was actually Keen. So, okay, this is making me nervous. Oh my god! Oh, yeah. All right, made it through level 2. So yeah, Nintendo were just not interested at the time. But yeah, that demo of, I suppose it was supposed to be Mario 3. So that demo then ended up actually then serving as the inspiration for or the basis of Commander Keen. And Commander Keen then became, for the PCs, it became the first real popular platformer title, because... Jesus. Alright. Yeah, this game is a lot harder than it looks. Yeah. So, and I should stress that when I say PCs, I'm of course talking about the IBM compatibles, because for the Commodore 64, there actually did exist quite a few popular. Damn it! So there existed actually quite a few popular platformer titles for. I thought that was a spring for some reason. That's why I didn't jump. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay, but I think I got it now. I'm still surprised that there are no power-ups. I would have assumed there was. I also keep pressing down on those, thinking those are the pipes, because they definitely kind of look like pipes from Mario, but they're clearly not. Okay, let me check all of these blocks, because I'm sure that I seem to think that there's what, like a lightning bolt or something that comes out of one of the blocks. And I really don't like it. I don't really like trying to jump on the enemies to kill them, because it's actually much more difficult than it looks. All right, I'm done going that upper way. I just seem to kill myself all the time. So, oh god, yeah. I think I would have probably died there. Yeah. They just have the diamonds in those. I mean, I suppose if I get enough of these, I assume I get like an extra life, but. Oh god. Oh no! God damn it! That was dumb. Yeah, no checkpoint on the. Well, the levels are actually pretty short, so I guess having a checkpoint doesn't really matter so much here. But yeah, gotta say I'm not super impressed with the fucking the level design. Like it seems a bit basic, honestly. The music's okay. Like actually, the opening theme sounded amazing, but like this, the main theme here just isn't really doing a whole lot for me. Also, I don't know. Oh my god. Also, I don't know who owns Super Giana Sisters nowadays, but of course there's been kind of like a revival of them on was it on DS or something? But it's on the PCs as well. So I guess Super Giana Sisters nowadays is kind of like a. I'm not sure if a C hit would be like a appropriate, but it's an IP that has been resurrected, and I think they've had a couple of games as well. So you know, so this IP has weirdly kind of stood the test of time. Jesus Christ, that fucking eyeball, that one in the pit is the one that it keeps now getting me. I'm actually thinking of doing a second episode of fucking dicks, the Duke Nukem shareware. Actually, I might actually record that directly after this, because I felt like honestly we made even less progress in that one than we did when I was playing it on the Xbox 360. Like I feel like I got a lot further in the 360 version. Than I did on the PC version, and partly because I was struggling a little bit to talk. But yeah, so IBM PCs, they just didn't really have a lot of platformers at the time. And like I said, I don't know when this was actually made. Like I have to assume this was in the mid-90s. So, but the IBM PCs finally did have like a little mini platformer renaissance, I guess, in the early to mid 90s, because at that point, like the performance speeds for PCs were, you know, had finally gotten good enough that you could actually have like pretty decent platformers, and you know, not surprisingly, you know, that's, you know, Commander Keen came around. Well, actually, Commander Keen was kind of like the first ones, really. So I think Keen came out already like in the late 80s. I might be wrong about that, but I seem to think that. And then Apogee really went in hard. Like Apogee was like almost like, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but I'm not off, but I don't think I'm not off by that much to say that Apogee was doing like 90% of all the freaking platformers at around that time, because you know, they had all the they had like big and even like medium size hits around that time, like Duke Nukem and, you know, Biomenace and what have you. But then that period of time when the platformers finally did did have their like small time under the sun on PCs, like it did end like then kind of abruptly, you know, because of Doom. And also, I think the fact that it took so long for there to be actually like decent platformer games for PCs was also partly a factor that PC gamers just generally then started to prefer other genres. And, you know, the thing that I've heard a lot of times is, like, the fact that a lot of DOS platformers had a very maze-like, oh, God. Like, very maze-like level design. Had to do with, like, memory storage, like, you know, factoring in that you could only, that making very big levels for games was, you know, taking away, you know, precious memory that was so, hard to come by. But honestly, like, I'm actually not fully convinced that's solely the case. Like, yes, yes, there were, like, you know, memory issues, but like the 3-inch floppies were already a thing, and those could hold like 1 megabyte of memory. So I don't know. Maybe it's just more of a game design principle were a little bit different. All right, now we're in the castle level. Ah, and I seem to recall that there's like either a dragon or like a pterodactyl that's like the boss. Man, that oh my god, like doing that jump, that is so frustrating. All right, let's see if I can do that one more time. But we've already, yeah, I don't know about. Honestly, I have no recollection like how accurate. Like this first level, yes. Seems very familiar, but that's because it reminds me of you know, the first level of Super Mario Brothers. Although some of the level elements are obviously in slightly different places, so it's not like a 100% ripoff. Oh my god, yeah, Jesus! I just do not have like a good handle on when to jump. But yeah, the next game over is gonna be the end of the episode because and it might come a bit sooner than I expected because fucking dicks, I'm doing terrible. Oh man, I thought for a I honestly thought I was gonna die there. Ugh. And just those little eggs just kind of look like igloos to me, even though I know they're, you know, they're made of brick, and I suppose it's just supposed to be a tunnel or something. Yeah, and there's also another thing about Super Giana Sisters, which always kind of weirds me out, is that there's that famous poster where they kind of put down Mario Brothers. You know, it says something like "Move over, brothers and sisters are in town," and it has like the Super Giana Sisters like as these like cartoon punks, and it looks really weird. But then if you look at the actual cover artwork, like, you know, there's a 2-player mode in this. Actually, I should try the 2-player mode. I think it's just going to be like an alternating 2-player mode. But I want to see like what the second Giana sister looked like. But it's the first sister, this blonde one, that's on the actual cover art for the game, and it looks nothing like the 2 Giana sisters on the box. I mean that poster. Like, I don't know. That seems like a marketing misfire more than anything. Okay, I guess I gotta jump like really, really late. Jesus, and that damn it. All right, let's try the two-player alternate mode, and I'll just kill myself straight away just to find out because I'm just curious. 1 or 2 for 1-player. Oh, there is no 2-player game in this. So why 1 or 2? That makes absolutely no goddamn sense. Alright, well, that was Super Giana Sisters. We didn't get very far, unfortunately, but I hope you still enjoyed it. So see you on the next one. Bye-bye.